I was born in southern Illinois at a little tiny town called Kingsburg. It was about a mile from the Wabash River, maybe 30 miles south of Vincennes, Indiana. Of course, it'd be across the river. My father ran a grocery store. He was a veteran of World War I. I knew a man there in the town I was at that was on the draft board, and he kind of hinted that we're getting close to picking your name. Why I got picked, I'll never know. A lot of other people, very few people from my town went to the service, but then there was one boy a year younger that went, and I still correspond with him. But I never knew. But the only good thing about me going to Korea, there's one good thing, and she's sitting right out here in the kitchen. I got to know my wife through my experience. It's a long story, but that's how I met her. If you'd ever been away from home, you didn't get homesick the first few days, but I've seen guys that have never been away from their home, and the first several days they were so homesick they were just physically ill. But yes, it's very hard because there's always somebody that's wanting to tell you to do something and knock that smile off your face, or get out on the floor and do push-ups, or there's always somebody that wants to lord over you. We came into Incheon, and we climbed down the side of the boat on one of these rope ladders into these landing crafts, and they took us to the shore. That night, the guns from our artillery kept shelling out, and I kept saying to myself, did I walk into hell? And I fully realized what General Sherman said, that war is hell. The one day in my life that I have been seriously dangerous, in a dangerous situation, the Chinese forces kept shooting at us, and we were right near the spot, and many a time I couldn't sleep. We couldn't sleep in our tents. We had to go out towards the. And one night in particular, I remember going back the next morning, and my bunk, my cot I was sleeping on was full of holes, and the tent was just full where a shell exploded nearby. And one of my good friends did get hit by a piece of shrapnel from the shelling, but anyway, on the 4th of July of 1953, we were at a spot, and I could look over. Here was a group of engineers, and they were stationed there. And right as you come off the road was a little guardhouse with the American flag, and the shell came down. I always happened to be looking, and hit this guardhouse and the flag, and neither one existed. So when I see the flag flying yet today, I still remember how an enemy destroyed our flag. But the saddest day of my whole career in the Army was the 4th of July, when you see those shells dropping, you see trees just be blown up. But I saw this one guy standing in this little guardhouse, about 3 by 3 or 3 by 4, and all at once he just disappeared with a big hole in the ground. That was that just burned in my mind. I still remember that. Every time on the 4th of July, when we have fireworks, where all the fireworks going around, I can see the real fireworks. During the Battle of Pork Chop Hill, they called a truce right in the middle of the battle, and our side went up to get the wounded, and the Chinese went up to did the same thing. And I don't know how long this truce lasts, I don't remember. But our troops traded trinkets and badges and everything else with the Chinese, and shook hands and I don't know what all. Then after a very short while, then they went back to fighting each other. I spent most of my time keeping peace between our first sergeant and everybody else, because he I don't know, felt his rank, I guess, and wanted to show that he could do it. But he was a friend of mine, so he'd listen to me, and I try to keep me cool down and not shake up too many people. And he lives right down here in Lebanon, Indiana today. Hear from me every Christmas. Then on my wife's birthday, they told me I was getting to go home. Her birthday's the 11th of July. And so I just couldn't wait. And we got back to Seattle, but I knelt down and kissed the ground. I was so thrilled to be home.